Hello, everybody. My name is Clarence Rick Napier, the president at 321 Biz Development. I'm also the president of an insurance brokerage that offers Medicare services, long term care, insurance, disability, employee benefits, annuity rollovers, and other life and health related insurance services. Today is February 6th, 2024. And this podcast episode is really about business development and sales system topics. And again, the reason why I want to do this episode, it's really this podcast 321 Biz Development or 321 Sales Dogs. Part of it helps me as a person who has to just continue to believe in my own content. And every day I engage customers face to face, or I engage prospects face to face, and I engage people via the phone. So I always like to tell people that you must use your own product. You must believe in your own product, because if you don't believe in your own product, how can you market that product or service to someone else? And actually, in the 321 Biz Development 6 to 9 hour training session, we talk about the four. It's like 3 to 4 things. I may tell you the fourth one. The first one is that you must believe that your product will benefit people in the long run. The second one, your product must put that person in a better position after they use your product than that person was before they used their product, before they use your product. And the third one is your product or service must have or must be on a platform where you can have some predictability in moving that product or service with a high probability that you'll close. So 40, 50, 60, 80% probability is what I expect when I use my own product to reach out to contacts and prospects that that I'm looking to do business with. So it's very important to know that. But you know what? The the story, this podcast episode for today, I just told you where I am today, but I need to take you back to where I was like in 2010, 2011, up to the time where I started 321 Biz Development, which was November 1st, 2014. So when I take you back to 2010, and again, this episode is partially for me. And if you find some benefit out of it, then please, I thank you for finding benefit out of this episode. Because this episode, even though it's about business development and sales system training, it's really about what you believe in and what you want to achieve as you set your own goals. Now, this particular theme and this subject matter that I'm going to talk about next really just talks about sales. But a lot of people can take this conversation about improving your sales to different areas of your life. Now, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a motivational speaker. I am a person who focuses on improving sales performance, sales productivity, and improving or helping people improve their businesses. That's what 321 Biz Development is all about. So let me take you back to 2010. 2010, I was right out of the mortgage crisis there in Northern California, between San Francisco, or actually San Jose to Sacramento, and I was working in the financial services industry. And I'm the kind of person that I'm going to find a way to find a solution to what I want to accomplish. That comes from a corporate background. That comes from serving as a combat veteran or a combat soldier for like 8 years when I add up all the time. So where I was in 2010, I was in this position where I understood my financial services products to the nth degree, but I knew there was something missing because I could not move forward in a predictable way with success to have conversations with high income individuals like in Silicon Valley and San Francisco. So I would always challenge myself. I said, okay, so if I want to, have a have some success in selling, products and services where people may pay $2 million for a product or service, where I'm talking about they might pay $10,000, $20,000 per month for a financial services product. And in Silicon Valley and San Francisco, that is not out of the question. So what I did, I said, okay, let me find a company where they market to high income individuals, high net worth individuals. And this company was in San Jose, California. So I said, okay, so I got the contract to sell for them. And they said, hey, Clarence, come on down to Silicon Valley or San Jose. And this is right next to the San Jose International Airport. This was the office was. It was a technology drive. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the managers talk about the products and services, and I already knew how to sell. But what my conflict was, how could I talk to someone in San Jose, in Sunnyvale, in where else? Atherton, Hillsboro, Woodside, California, about these products, Los Gatos, because these people were, millionaire. They were millionaires, multimillionaires, but they still needed the product. The product was still beneficial to them. And I think what was missing, in fact, I know what was missing based on where I am right now. The company did not have a sales system. Where they spent most of their time was, this is how great our product is. This is what it does. This is what a person can expect financially as a significant benefit to purchasing this life insurance, this whole life policy, this IUL. This is what they can expect. And I was great with that. But what was missing is this conversation. And the conversation that they did present wasn't consumer friendly. It was, take this booklet and flip these pages and spend the next 30 to 45 minutes, telling this customer what this product will do. And deep down inside, I had a problem with that, because I sold in corporate America, and selling in corporate America and selling as an independent agent are like 180 degrees, difference in terms of how it's supposed to be done. So I recall at one point I had a car that was not working, but I still wanted to go. So my spouse dropped me off in downtown San Jose. And this is also the time, like I said, it was right after the real estate mortgage crisis, and I had a problem with my own property, such that I'm just really letting my hair down, where I didn't miss the mortgage payment. I tried to send the check in so that when the check arrived, the money was also in the bank. But for some reason, the check arrived before the money was in the bank. And that caused such a problem that I lost access to my checking account. So I'm just being real with you. This is where I was in 2010, 2011. So when I got to San Jose, and I'm struggling paying this $3,000 a month mortgage, I had about $50 in my pocket. I kid you not, I had $50 in my pocket. And that money was supposed to last about 3 days, and I already had covered the hotel rent. And I found myself like, here I am, about maybe 50 miles from home. I had $50 in my pocket that was supposed to last 3 days until I was going back to where I lived in Northern California, a little north of San Francisco. And I'm sitting in this room and I'm saying to myself, man, I really can't buy too much, because I need this money to last for about 3 days. So I found myself buying top ramen and very inexpensive stuff. And, for 3 days. And fortunately, the training center had like a decent lunch. But I'm sitting here going, man, I'm on the edge of existence with my business. Here I am down in San Jose, California, the financial, like the wealthiest area in the United States, and I want to sell these very high end products to high net worth individuals, but I'm struggling with it. I am struggling with it. So when I left the training, I went back to my home and I said to myself, man, I am totally missing something. And it wasn't until I had something very negative happen in my life. And if you ever meet me in person, I'll tell you what that was. But I had something very negative happen in my life. Like I mentioned, the dates did not jive with the mortgage payment hitting the bank. So I lost access to a checking account. I couldn't get a checking account anywhere for about 3 years. And finally, I remember when I finally got, I think I had to wait some time or something, whatever it was. But when I finally got access to a major bank checking account, it was almost like I was returning to normal society. It was almost like a person who, and I'm just kind of thinking this is how it would be, like a person that was in prison for like 10 years. And then when they got out of prison, they were like, oh, I'm back in the community and man, things have changed. I feel like I'm still maybe in prison, even though I'm out. It was one of those kind of things where you had to make an adjustment just to be normal again. I kid you not, it was so weird. But at the same time, I said to myself, let me take a few months and discover what was missing in my sales business. So for about 6 months to 9 months, I think I spent a total of, I want to say like about, it was over a year and a half, but let's say I think I put like maybe 2,000 hours. And by the time I was done, it was 6,000 hours over a 2-year period, where I was slowly beginning to figure out what I was doing wrong in my sales business. So on November 1st, 2014, that's when I launched 321 Biz Development, because I discovered by that time I had spent like a year and a half trying to figure out what was wrong. And when I figured it out, I started meeting with CPAs and attorneys, dentists, plastic surgeons, real estate brokers, and any business owner that sold something that was valued at $1,000 or higher, or the commission was $1,000 or higher. And when I first met with a CPA, I think the CPA was in the city of Roseville, California. And it was right after Christmas. I had called the person before Christmas, left a voicemail. The CPA called me back like a day or two after Christmas and said he wanted to meet. And so I met with the CPA at his office in Roseville. And I asked him some questions. He was very gracious, very friendly. That's because I had a list of questions to ask. And at the very end, he decided to hire me to assist with some business development and sales system training. And when I left, he asked me this question. He said, Clarence, he goes, you called me and set this appointment about trying to help my CPA practice. He said, I've been a CPA for about 25 years. He said, I've never been able to pick up the phone and call someone about working with my CPA practice. He says, how were you able to do that? How were you able to pick up the phone and call people that you've never met to ask for that appointment to see if you can help them with your product or service? And it was that day, that's when I finally said to myself, I have something. I have someone who has been a CPA for 25 plus years, finished a bachelor's degree, spent the 4 to 5 years working at a large CPA firm to qualify to get the CPA certification, and then have that same person compliment me about my approach to getting the appointment and closing the deal. Now, that particular situation happened 3 to 4 more times within the last 6 months with CPAs, with attorneys, with a dentist, with I think I said attorney. And that's when I realized that I had figured it out. And that's what I want to leave with people right now is, now whether you become a 321 Biz Development client, that's totally up to you. Like I said, part of this podcast episode was just to refresh my energy in my business, because I don't have anybody to call. I can't pick up the phone and say, hey George, hey Mary, help me with my business, because I'm the one that's helping other people. I have no one to call. So when I create these podcast episodes, part of it is really for me to re-energize my feeling about my business and about how I can continue to help people. So I just want to let this podcast episode hit your brain, hit your heart. And if you need to reach out to me about your journey and your struggle, please give me a call at 239-748-1400. Visit my website at 321bizdev.com. Maybe you can be a podcast guest. As a way to become a client, and just to let people know, as soon as I move into my new property or I have a studio, we're going to have what we call online networking sessions where business owners can call in and talk about their businesses for 2 to 3 minutes, about maybe 2 to 4 times a week. We also have a digital magazine that's is digital and it's also in print form, and we'll have opportunities for people to advertise in the digital magazine. That also comes with the online networking session included. So I'm going to leave you with that. You have a great day. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.